Good afternoon, vinyl community. Hi, I hope everybody's doing really well. Yeah, it's Rob back for another, hopefully fairly quick video. This is just a roundup of stuff, vinyl I've been purchasing over the last few weeks. So yeah, I've accumulated not a huge pile, but I've got about seven or eight. One which I'll kick off with, which is one that missed. I didn't actually show from the last time I went to Ben's, which is a sort of a cheapy find. So I'll put that one in as well. Yeah, so obviously this is just a quick roundup, start of March. Just thought I'd bring you up to date before obviously it accumulated too much. So and obviously to keep the video down to a reasonable length. So okay, so let's kick off with the first one. Okay, so as I say, this was a real cheapie that I picked up last time. I was at Ben's, which seems a very long time ago now, back at the beginning of December before the lockdown. And yeah, this is Rockpile. So yeah, this is Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe. Nick Lowe's band that was recorded in 1980. Um, they were recording their own respective albums as well at this time, but they did go out on tour, I believe. For this is a really good documentary actually on YouTube, which Richard McCook told me about. Because I've been a fan of Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe for quite a long time, but I wasn't really terribly familiar with Rockpile, even though I was aware of them. And it's a really good documentary. It's got a bit of fly on the wall. It shows you them obviously recording in the studio, and sort of individual interviews with them, and sort of Nick and Dave chatting as well, and having a few beers and a smoke and whatever. So yeah, but really interesting. And it's this is a really decent, enjoyable, back to basics sort of rock and roll album. Um, Great musicianship. Band's really cooking on this. There's the gatefold with them being silly there. And yeah, great tracks. It's a mixture of kind of self-penned titles and sort of covers. My favourite on this is probably When I Write the Book. I think it may have been a single. It's really great song. In fact, the whole of his first side I really enjoy. But yeah, I mean, it's very well recorded. It's got a real kind of spontaneity feel to it. The energy's great. You can tell they're really enjoying themselves when they were recording it. And a great listen, yeah. And for I think £1, this was pretty good. Unfortunately, didn't come with the free EP. That was, I guess, obviously with the first issues of this. A bit like Elvis Costello did with Armed Forces, around about the same kind of time. Which I have an original of that, but unfortunately, you don't have the EP of that either. So it's one I'm always kind of on the lookout for. Okay, next one was a one off the wants list. I've never owned this record in any format, even though I was quite familiar with it, knew the singles off it. But yeah, this was reissued in a deluxe form in 2017, which I missed out on, and found that there were still copies available online. So was happy to snag it. This is the 2017 50th anniversary deluxe version of their Satanic Majesty's Request. And obviously the Stones' famous 1967 Pepper-esque album, even though, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't sound anything like Sergeant Pepper. But I think the Beatles seem to think that they just sort of nicked all their ideas to produce this. I mean, it's not the greatest Stones album in the world, but I've always enjoyed it. I love the singles. I love the kind of hippy dippy kind of sort of attitude that's of this record. I mean, yeah, I guess it's very much of its time, but I think it's a great period piece. And yeah, I mean, as I say, I'd never owned it on any format, so and I'd always enjoyed the kind of lenticular cover which this reproduces. So yeah, and so yeah, obviously this is in a very thick cardstock cover. Obviously that reproduces the original gatefold with the maze, but then it does actually open out again to reveal a kind of write up here from Jagger and Brian Jones, obviously from the time. It comes with, interestingly, it's been issued with two CDs, two albums. The two CDs are both the US stereo and mono edition, and then the reproduction of the albums are the Decca UK issues. So let me get this the right way around. I think that's the mono, blue one. And yeah, this green one, that's the stereo. The stereo for my ears actually sounds better, which is unusual because normally the monos are better, and I'd say that's the case for both on both formats. So yeah, along with the CDs and the records, it also comes with this little booklet, which is quite nice. You've got all that black and white cover of the guys on the front there, and then there's a good sort of write up there. Nice photos. Yeah, so pretty pleased with it, really. Sort of criticism: the actual albums are really difficult, and the CDs as well, to actually get out of the sleeves. It's very tight, but the quality of the cover is excellent. I probably need to get one of those wide gatefold sleeves that you can get for these kind of box sets and stuff, just to preserve the sleeve a little bit. It is a numbered edition as well, so I think this is number 7824 written on the back. Yeah, a little bit indulgent, but I was glad that it was still available, because as I say, I didn't grab it first time around, so nice to finally have that. Okay, so sticking with reissues, this is one I picked up the other day. It's a 2018 reissue of Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Yeah, I really like this album. It's a real return to form for McCartney, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, much kind of darker lyrically than quite a lot of stuff he'd done prizes, and I think certainly since it's the best album he'd done since Flaming Pie anyway. So yeah, excellent. Obviously got the single Fine Line, the wonderful Jenny Wren, which is a wonderful kind of Blackbird-esque sort of just McCartney and the guitar, which is sometimes when he can be at his best. And yeah, just excellent song. But yeah, I mean, for me, there's not really a bad track on this. really, really good. And so it's the inner sleeve with the lyrics, drawing there of Mecca. And that's the label. It also came with this print with some drawings as well, and the old download card, which I'm not particularly bothered about, but there you go. So yeah, it's sounds pretty good. So happy to grab that. Okay, so the next one is another Sommel reissue from Dando Shaft. Fantastic psychedelic folk band. Sort of collecting their reissues of their albums because the originals are very, very hard to come by. Got their first one, still yet to land a copy of the second album, but this is their third and last one from 1972. This is Lantaloon. As I say, this is another 2011 reissue, 500 copies released of this. I think the seller had 2 copies left, I think, of this, so whether it's still available or not, I don't know. But it comes with a reissue of the poster that came with the original. The guy is there. And another write-up there, which, as it did with the first reissue of the first album. And yeah, I mean, again, Dando Shaft, just fantastic folk, psychedelic folk, very European sounding, sort of a continuation of the second album, obviously with the addition of the female vocalist. Fantastic. Certainly the first and last songs are just amazing on this. Road song that kicks off is just amazing. Just the energy of that song is incredible. If you've not heard that, definitely recommend giving that a play on YouTube. And the last track, The Magnetic Beggar, is fantastic, but there's not a bad track on this. All just superbly played. You know, if you're into your sort of psychedelic folk, that kind of feel, the sort of quirky feel, definitely be up your street. Okay, moving on. Another classic. This is one I used to have on vinyl years ago, and do see copies from time to time. It's not hard to get hold of, but not always in the best condition. So I saw this come up. This is a, I think it's 2019 reissue of Roadhawks. Excuse me, Hawkwind. Fantastic 1976 compilation. Yeah, I love this. Always love this record. It's just got the great Hurry on Sundown, which is just fantastic acoustic song by Dave Brock. I think it's still his favourite song he's written. So that's the label there. So kind of similar to the original on United Artists. Again, another one that reproduces the original poster that came with it. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, I mean, just great. All the so great early singles. The Silver Machine, live version of You Shouldn't Do That. The band single Urban Gorilla, Wonderful Spaces, Deep, and ending with Golden Void from Warrior on the Edge of Time. So yeah, just superb stuff there from the Evergreen Hawks. Bless them, they still keep going. Okay, changing it up completely. Yeah, I saw Dale show this on his TV related. He's answered the Alan's TV related thread, and I immediately went in search of a copy. Unfortunately, it's not the original gatefold die cut edition that he showed, because I don't think that's available anymore. But this is a reissue that came out latter part of last year. So this is music from Bagpus. So yeah, fantastic. Oliver Postgate, cult children's TV show here in the UK. Wonderful, wonderful program, and I've always loved the music from that very kind of sort of strange, folky sort of music, mandolin, and sort of very simple production from John Faulkner and Sandra Kerr on vocals. They between them, I think they play all the instruments, and yeah, so nice. Nice to grab this. So comes with a nice little write-up from Stuart Lee, which I think was the same as the original. I'm not sure. Some nice photos there. And it's Oliver in the studio, or the barn, I should say, where they used to make those wonderful small films productions. Comes with a postcard as well. I think the original was die cut with, and you could put different life lithographs and so on. So yeah, I'd love to pick up a copy of that sometime, maybe secondhand. I don't know, maybe they might reproduce that at some stage. This is on glorious pink vinyl. I suppose is very fitting for Bagpus. So yeah, delighted to pick that up. And yeah, this is still readily available now if anybody interested in picking up a copy. So okay, next one was been on my want list for a long time. I have seen original copies of this, but they are quite expensive. So I went for a music on vinyl reissue of this, which I've got other ones of theirs. They're always reproduced really well and sound great. This is the wonderful Dennis album, 1977 album, Dennis Wilson, Pacifica Ocean Blue. So yeah, reproduces the original gatefold. And the label, love that label, fantastic. Lyrics. And yeah, I mean, what a fantastic album. Unique album this is. Yeah, it's a kind of rock and roll album, but it just goes so beyond that in so many ways. Just wonderful feel. All the tracks are different. Yeah, just superb. Love his writing, his style of writing. Um, definitely, yeah, just a real trip. This record, and I'd like to actually hear the follow up to this as well, the one he did after this. So yeah, but it remains a real classic, and glad to finally have a copy of that in the collection. Okay, so the last one I'm going to show is one that Jonas at Sublime Media showed a few weeks ago. He did a video where he was celebrating 10 years in the VC, and he basically highlighted this record. Although this is a reissue, it's not the original, but it was one that was very high up. In fact, probably number one on his want list. Extremely rare psych folk album from 1970. It was originally released on Fontana Records, and I believe he sold an awful lot of his some really big records to land a copy of it because of its rarity. I don't know how much he paid for it. He didn't say, but it was, I believe, somewhere in the region of probably four figures. So, but this is the wonderful Will Malone, and this is just a fabulous sort of Baroque folk psych album from 1970. Yeah, this is just wonderful. He's kind of not got the best voice in the world in terms of sort of musical quality, but his expression and his musicality in the songs is just absolutely breathtaking. Wonderful kind of Baroque feel with the songs, the arrangements, quite simple, but just really work. Yeah, just fantastic songs on this Catherine Wheel. I Could Write a Book's wonderful. Winter in Boston, Caravan I love. Yeah, there really isn't a bad song on this album. And this was being reissued on this kind of electric blue vinyl. But really good pressing, sounds fantastic. So yeah, again, said limited pressing, but as to how limited these things are, who knows? Could be a marketing gimmick, but I'm happy to get a copy of it anyway. So yeah, heartily recommended. So that's it, guys. Just a quick, fairly quick catch up of what I've been buying. Hope you're all doing really well out there. I'm probably going to do, maybe not tonight, but by the end of the weekend, I'm going to do a response to Richard McCook, who has done yet another fiendish upload video that he's tasked us to get our heads round. And yeah, so go and check that out if you're feeling brave. Okay, so all the best, guys, and yeah, see you all again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.